Rothschild. I am the director of the Tucson Human Arts Council. I'm a big supporter of Access Tucson. So thank you for your... On behalf of the agency that I run. Just last weekend, you might have participated in Tucson's Meet Yourselves Polka and Red, which was in Dunbar Springs. You might have gone to Ciclovilla. You might have gone to the Tucson Poetry Festival. You might have been at the Symphony or at ATC or at the TMA, who my colleagues are in the audience today. Hundreds of cultural offerings every day of the week has established Tucson as a vibrant arts community where folks live, work, and play. Yet this vibrancy is in jeopardy given the city manager's recommendation of a 75% cut to the Tucson Human Arts Council. TPAC was created 30 years ago and charged to fill the city's responsibility to support the well-being of Tucson. The return on the city's investment are multiple. City funds prompt and support a business community that generates $87.7 million each year. The culture sector produces $8.5 million in tax revenues for the local and state governments. Arts and cultural events generate $45 million to our city, which is beyond the cost of admission, and which is $7.4 million more than what sports bring in. The sector generates $8.2 million in tourist details. A more detailed analysis of the economic impact is in the report we created called Creating Prosperity, which you received about 6 months ago. In regards to how Tucson compares to other cities, because I work in the arts community, I need some assistance. So my colleagues, if they can come up here. This is David Goldstein, who from Arizona Theater Company. Susan Fernando, former executive director of the Tucson Symphony. And Merlin Cohen, the president of the board of the Tucson Museum of Arts. The national average of government contribution to the culture sector is $5.44 per capita. Tucson is currently 64 cents. And if this recommendation is to pass, we'll be at 20 cents. So the city manager's recommendation undermines the benefits that the culture sector provides to Tucson. Beyond the story of the arts sector's economic impact, the arts shape our identity as Tucsonans and our city's livability, identity as a livable city. I mean, I'm running out of time, but this cut would dramatically alter TPAC's ability to leverage its funds. We've received 45.5% cut in our money since the recession, and it says a big message that the arts don't belong here. That basically we are just marginalized and being thrown underneath the bus. That's how it feels when I get passionate about the community I work for. And many of them are here. So from the arts group, can you please stand up?
My senior Tom Cahal,
I'm sharing my time with Reverend Del McCormick, and we are here speaking on behalf of PCIC and Casa Maria Busriders Union. And we have a very silent group of bus riders supporters here this evening, I think. Do we?
Yeah.
Yes. I would like to use a brief quote from Pope Francis. Pope Francis has become a rather singular voice on the world stage on behalf of the marginalized and the poor. And I'd like to place my remarks within the context of this quote. Each individual in every community is called to be an instrument of God for the liberation and the promotion of the poor and for enabling them to be fully a part of society. This demands that we be docile and attentive to the cry of the poor and to come to their aid. This demands that we be docile and attentive to the cry of the poor and come to their aid. When it comes to any consideration of raising bus fares, I think we need to be docile and attentive to the cry of the poor and to come to their aid. Please do not raise the fares on the bus riders. I'm pastor. We have a St. Vincent de Paul group, have a pantry open 5 days a week, 5 mornings a week. Most of the people who come there come on the bus. They leave with their groceries on the bus. You raise the bus fares, it will make it that much more difficult for them to come to bring up the basic necessities for survival. So I ask you on their behalf, on behalf of the Bus Riders Union of Tucson, to please, please, please do not raise the fares on the backs of the poor. Let's hear the cry of the poor.
My name is Del McCormick. I am senior pastor of Rincon Congregational Church, United Church of Christ on the east side. I thank you for your attention tonight. It's very moving to see you witness to all of the testimony of the folks this evening. As senior partner of Rincon United Church of Christ, I am a card-carrying member of the Tucson Bus Riders Union, as are at least 20 members of our congregation. We're very concerned about the possibility of the rates, the fares being raised for the poorest of the poor. Our members and friends and people who come daily to our church seeking attention for immediate needs rely on the bus for survival, not just to shop on 4th Avenue or to eat on Congress Street, although that would be a wonderful thing. We're not there yet. They rely on the bus for their survival, to go to work, to look for work, to go to the doctor's office, to go to their faith community, to visit with family members, to maintain their ties and communities. It is essential that they have accessible, reasonable rates and access to public transportation. I know you know this, and I know that it's in your hearts. I know you also need to balance your budget. Tucson is the 8th poorest city in the country, and I know that that's no news to you, but we must do something for the increasing number of what I call people made poor, not made poor by God, but made poor by other people. As some people get more and more rich, many are becoming more and more impoverished, and every day we hear stories from people whose needs are critical, and the most basic need is transportation. For many, even a low-income pass of $15 is absolutely impossible. If you raise the rates, people will not be able to make the most basic transportation, to fill the most basic transportation needs they have. So I ask you, I beg you not to balance your budgets on the backs of people made poor. We ask you to be good stewards of the environment and not cut routes or schedules that are so important to these people. We ask you not to, we implore you to consider people, especially people made poor, and be more than a word that lies flat on a page, but stand up and take action so that all of Tucson's citizens have the same rights to dignity and freedom and access. Thank you.
I'm here to have fun tonight. You're not going to like it. Tucson values, Regina, you said it all. What are they? Well, you don't like Rosemont Copper, so much for tax revenue. Don't like Grand Canyon University, they're Christians, don't like that tax revenue. Don't even like DM Air Base. No problem there. Don't even like your own fire and police departments. You damn sure don't like the taxpayers. 84% Democrat. That's what this place has voted for the last 73 years. You wonder why you got problems? Really? Let's face it, this is what you do like. You like illegal alien invaders. You like the 5th worst roads in the country. You like the 8th highest poverty rate in the country for a city our size. You like the 4th highest tax rate combined in the country for a city our size. You like TUSD, and wow, what a miserable failure they are. Speaking of which, you like that failure, don't you? I mean, let's face it, none of these people would have funding issues if we didn't pay $60 to $70 million a year in interest payments to Wall Street bankers. And are those Republican bankers or Democrat bankers? Or does it make a difference? Have you seen that lovely artwork out on Houghton that just got put in? Oh my God, it's artwork, they say. Got pictures over here if you want to see it. Working as a land surveyor, walking through the desert, I used to see things like that every day, filled with little pieces of stick and, berries. Other stuff, it was called coyote poop. That's what it looks like, coyote poop. That's art. I like access. Access is good. Where else can you see all these fine, crazy people? And as far as the Busriders Union, welcome to the Taxpayers Union. I'm sick and tired of paying for your subsidies. What is it, $1 to ride the bus? When it's really $4 and something to ride the bus one way? I'm tired of paying your bills. So are a lot of other people. People making over 150 grand, we're leaving. Bye-bye. So much for your budget. Have a nice day. You cannot exist on the U of A, what some people call art, and old people forever. And the sick leave payback, what you don't realize is that's what happens when all of your higher echelon people in law enforcement and fire are getting ready to leave. That's because of all of you. Yes, Richard, you know exactly what I'm talking about. You're one of those double dippers, getting paid huge amounts of money for absolutely no good. Have a good time and tell the Arizona Red Star they're doing just fine.
Leslie.